Welcome, Cancer, to your beginning of the month reading. I hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, hit that big old like button and subscribe. Okay, guys, getting ready for that solar eclipse. So trying to get this out here as fast as possible so I can get that solar eclipse reading up for you guys. We're also going to be going through a Mercury retrograde, so also want to get that up so that way you know what's going on with that Mercury retrograde. Okay. So best messages coming out. Going to have a nice full month this month when it comes to readings, that's for sure. So best messages. So guys, make sure you are staying tuned, right? Stay tuned. We have the Hangman coming in over here, which is talking about this beautiful letting go and surrendering, which is beautiful as well because, you know, as we know, we just went through a lunar eclipse, so, you know, of letting go. And then now we have this beautiful solar eclipse coming through that is just boom, right? It's saying, let's get aware, having the enlightenment, seeing all the things. So you have, you know, between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, definitely a lot of enlightenment going on, a lot of awakening, a lot of new things going on, new chapters coming through. It could have been ending an old chapter during the lunar eclipse, starting this beautiful new chapter, just waiting for it and accepting it with the deep insights. So it's definitely talking about this change, and it could just be the way you're thinking about things and perceiving things, right? Having all these new light bulbs and stuff going off within your mind. So let's see what's going on here. So I love it, right? It's like, I accept this. I'm taking this sacrifice. I'm taking this change. I can see the way things are going, how things are going to change. And not only for now, but for the rest of the year, things are really taking a toll. You know, and eclipses last for at least 6 months. So yeah, definitely changing things around. Okay, so seeing the celebration and the friendship, bringing in new friendships, new community adventures could be as well. Getting out there into the community, seeing things within the community, having this happiness and this joy, this overall feeling of happiness and joy when it comes to the situation, right? So that's like, yeah, I want that happiness. I want that celebration. Could have been a lot of anxieties, a lot of worries, stepping out of your comfort blanket, out of your comfort zone. Maybe feeling like I needed to. There could also be a lot of drama. I know that says trauma, but I just want to say there could be a lot of drama in the very beginning of the month that could also be carried over from that lunar eclipse. That lunar eclipse could be bringing in a lot of drama. Okay, so could even have someone who's a bad influence, someone who's in a bad mood, someone who's cold, somebody who's manipulating a situation. Yeah, definitely could be a bad influence as well. I keep seeing cups over here. So could want, you know, get out there and over celebrate situations where you're saying, nah, I don't want to do that because I don't want to do that. Right. So there could be some kind of feeling a little violated when it comes to where you want to step out. Right. Are they violating your comfort zone? Maybe it's a different kind of comfort zone. Your boundaries. That's what the word I wanted to use. Are they violating your boundaries? Are you trying to change from not drinking? Are you changing rules, changing things within your life, right? For some of you, you are. So it's definitely talking about how we're having a lot of teamwork. There's going to be a lot of teamwork, a lot of collaborations, learning something, building. You have the building blocks around you during this time of the month, saying this is where the long-term goals are. So you definitely could be. You could even have a lot of, you know, avoiding some kind of, you might have somebody around you who's trying to avoid an ending. Maybe you're making an ending with them and they're trying to avoid this, right? Maybe they also see that you're avoiding or you're trying to make an end to drinking, something of this nature, bringing bad habits away. I don't want any more bad habits. I'm trying to put those away. Don't want those. Not wanting conflict. I do see there's some kind of avoiding, though. They may even feel like you're avoiding them. Maybe that's why they're getting upset about the situation. So definitely having some kind of possessiveness. What is, I see this, a lot of this possessiveness, somebody, for whoever I'm picking up on with that one energy, definitely feeling like there's a lot of stinginess, a lot of possessiveness, like come do what I tell you. Like for somebody, you have someone who definitely wants to step on your boundaries. They may want you going out to drink and you're trying to tell them, I don't want to drink anymore. And you're in like this self-protection mode, but they're not seeing it that way. They're being very self-centered about the situation. They're not seeing what it is you want to do. It's all about the me, and they're not seeing that you're trying to end this situation. That's for someone for sure. And that you're building new blocks and building something different. And they're trying to keep you, they're trying to hold you back from this situation, from moving on towards something that you want. If you're trying to leave a situation, they're trying to hold on tight. Might just be a relationship itself. They don't want to see the loss. They don't want to, but it's causing more of an obstacle than it's worth. With the Page of Pentacles over here, yeah, it's like you're reflecting on this situation. You have the desire, but there's news coming in. You may even have some news that's coming in that's talking about how it's going to also cause some kind of procrastination. So if you are looking for something that's coming through, the news is you're going to have to wait for a second, right? You're going to have to wait for just a second, right? Because there is some kind of delay to news. Or if you're waiting for some kind of news, it's not coming in one way or the other. Either the news is you have to wait, or the news you're waiting for is not coming in. Okay, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but definitely whatever it is, it's delay in news. So it does feel like at this time you're going to have to continue to do it all, and you're going to feel a little overstressed and a little, maybe even a little depressed about the situation if you feel like you're definitely doing everything by yourself. But just watch this other person, because this other person does feel like they're kind of burning you out about the situation, because it does feel like they want you to kind of do what they want you to do and kind of manipulate the situation. So it's kind of like, I don't want to go out and drink, but they're like, come on. And you're like, it's getting to the point where it's kind of like nerve-wracking for some of you, okay? I'm becoming bittersweet over here. There's something that's definitely going on that's, that you feel like it could be some kind of lack of accountability, some kind of guilt or dishonesty going on within this situation, where you feel like this is not a very fair situation. Could be dealing with a Libra or an Aquarius for sure. And definitely feeling like there's like sitting in your own quiet power. It does feel like you're going to be a little quiet about this situation, because you do feel like there's unfairness when it comes to this. If you are waiting for that message as well, it could also be that you feel like this is unfair. Maybe you've been trying and waiting to get this job, to get this situation, up and going, and it's not going the way you want it to. It feels like you're in a very much of a challenge mode, having a lot of overwhelming feelings when it comes to the situation. It could even feel like you felt like you missed an opportunity with this situation. You may even felt like this person who could have been holding you back to miss this situation. Whoa, hold on, right? Because now you're going to say, it was their fault for me missing this. And hey, you know what? It could have been. Because maybe they were taking you out. Maybe they were keeping you this way, that way, keeping you drunk, keeping you this. But, you have to take on, and then that's where it says kind of lack of your own accountability. So it could be that, or maybe someone's trying to blame you for them missing out on an opportunity, right? But you have to remember that you still have to be your own accountability, even if they manipulated you to do so. Right? Universe is like, but you still have to kind of take the accountability yourself, right? It's still, you are still in control of yourself. And it shows over here that there was, right, some lack of self-control with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So you are definitely, I think this is where, if it is something where you just feel like you keep missing opportunities because you keep hanging out with this person or allowing this person to take control of areas within your life, and that's for somebody. It's come to the point where this is where the Hangman is coming in saying, you know what, I'm not going to allow them to do this anymore. I'm pulling my strings back. I'm taking the rope. I'm taking my throne back, because they really are making me lose things. They really are keeping me, at a financial worry and a financial loss. And I do feel like for whoever I'm talking about here, it doesn't have to be everybody, but on this case here, it does feel like that's exactly how you're starting to feel, is that they are keeping you at this kind of poverty mindset or low self-esteem. Something is going on where you do feel like they are holding you back from the greater good of what you could do, right? And yes, there would still be a lack of accountability for you not to take the control back, but I think you already know that. I think that's the point. I think that was the point already, was that I do need to stand up for myself. I do need to plan things for myself. I do need to take back my control over the situation, because, you know, if I keep letting this person be in control of a situation, I'm going to keep losing out on that situation. So I can't let them do that anymore. And that's what it really feels like. Or if I keep letting, you know, so it's kind of like building boundaries, taking back my control within the situation, right? And if I keep using that, it's still a bad investment. I'm making bad investments. I'm missing out on chances. If I keep listening to their nonsense, maybe it's even somebody at work who thinks they know what they're doing and they're dropping the ball. However it is, my friends, but I think that's what the point was, is that you do know that there was a lack of accountability on your part. I think that's where the punishment kind of is coming in, with the justice saying, oh man, you know, and I let you do that shit to me again. Why am I letting you do that? You know, and so it's almost like to the point to where it's like, no, I'm done with that. So it's definitely turning around in the way that you're looking at things, the way you're handling things, the way you're sacrificing. You know, you might have to sacrifice other things. It might have to be money. You know, sometimes we have to sacrifice money to make money. It is how it is, right? Currency, it flows, right? So however it is, but definitely there's some kind of awakening over here, and some kind of like, you know, this is the last time I'm going to let you do this, because you literally are making us lose, right? It could be some kind of partnership in a business, you know, something like this. And I really do see this where it's kind of like you let them have too much reign and you're not taking enough reins, it becomes faulty. So there is definitely some kind of faulty, and it was kind of like, now you're saying, right, they were kind of manipulating the situation, but this news of the delay is because you're saying, well, because we have poor communication, and because of the poor communication, it becomes bad news. Or because of the lack of direction, now we have delays and procrastination. You have two cards, I'm sorry, right here, two cards of procrastination, two cards of obstacles, right? So wherever this news is saying that this is bad news, or this news is not coming in because of procrastination. Maybe they didn't, you know, maybe you feel like you're stuck now because someone didn't do it on time, or maybe there it was again, lack of accountability. I should have done that shit myself. Sometimes if you want something, you got to do it yourself, right? Or I didn't do it fast enough because I was messing around. See what I'm saying? So, and it's almost to the point where it's like, well, you're kind of figuring that out right now. And this is going to make a huge change around, because you're seeing what is really going on around you. Maybe it's been going on for like a couple of months or something for some of you, and you're just to the point now. And it's almost like these eclipses are kind of waking you up to the situation, going, here's where you are. What are you going to do now? Well, I'm going to return because I feel like I'm stuck. So, you know, you might even have some unpaid debts that are now building up. You got this one-sided way of looking at things. Everything's totally upside down, unfair. There's power and domination in all the wrong places, right? And you have to sit over here and you're saying, I have to become the emperor now, because now I'm stuck carrying all the things. I've put in the ultimate struggle. Everything bit me in the ass when it came to this situation, and they still want me to play around. See, and that's what I kind of feel like right here is it's like you're pulling out and they're sitting over here going, no. And that's because there could be some ashamedness. You might feel like you're violated, and you might even feel ashamed of yourself for allowing it to get to this point, right? And they're saying, you know, and so it's almost like, nope, I'm focusing and I understand what's going on. I let you have too much reign. I let you have too much power within this situation. And even though for some of you, you knew it was going awry, you knew it was going south, and you still let them, you know, hold tight to the situation. You realize it was a bad investment, right? But now you're saying, psh, yeah. So now you don't even, it's almost like to the point where you're like, there's lack of support anyway, so it doesn't really matter anymore, right? There's breakdown in communication anyways, so I'm not really going to worry about it. I have to find my own self-discipline, because all there is now is stagnation and being stuck, and the feeling of being stuck again. So all there is right now is just doing that until you can find, right, the passion again. Once you find the passion again and you find that motivation and you figure out what the heck is really going on, then you'll find that, that new opportunity. Because there's something within you that's saying, I have to have a growth within this situation, but I have to figure out how to do that, because I have to change the Wheel of Fortune upright, right? But the Wheel of Fortune upright has to be within my actions. So I'm, whatever doesn't kill me is going to make me stronger, but I have to figure out how to do that. But I can't resist changes anymore. So I need to push this wheel, right, into this lucky area over here, right? Otherwise, it's just so unpredictable of how things are going to really, get, get back to where it is, because it's saying, yeah, you tested my faith. And it almost feels like now you're being tested of your faith in the beginning of the month, because you're like on your last stand. Well, shit, right? Well, how is this going to work? I have to gear up. I have to put on my armor. I have to grab my walking stick. I have to go over here, make boundaries, say what needs to be said. I have to, clear everything away and make sure that everybody understands where I'm coming from. I don't think, though, this water sign or this air sign that you're dealing with, whether it's a Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio, or a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius, will understand the situation that's going on. Or you could be dealing with a Capricorn. But I don't think that they're going to actually see the way you're looking at the situation, my friends. Seriously. Right? Because right now they think that everything's fine. Well, but it's not, because it's kind of crazy, because why did they think everything's fine? I mean, obviously there's a lot of money lost, where they just think that they're delusional. I mean, there's going to be a revelation. They understand that there's a revelation. They understand that there's going to be a release. They understand that they crashed and burned over here within the situation, but they're just keeping it moderate and patient. They're like, oh, because they just think that there's another way out. So they're moderately waiting for the next tide. It's almost like waiting for the next water tide to come in. You know what I mean? It's like a wave. They're waiting for the next wave to come through. And it's almost like you're to the point where you're like, there's been enough waves and they've all crashed, they've all burned, and I don't want any more. No matter what the situation is. So you're taking that fast action, fast thinking approach when it comes to situation, because you're looking over here and you're saying, it's not working anymore. See, I have to find a new comfort zone. See, because I was sitting in my comfort zone. And with my comfort zone and over there, I was in anxiety, but I wasn't really doing anything about it. I was just, But now you're saying, I found a new comfort zone. I found what's really going to happen over here. I see exactly what's going on. I found the stability. No, but they just think that no matter what's going to happen, everything's going to just work out fine. As long as you're in the game with them. That's what they want. They say, as long as you're in the game with them. Are you in the game with me? Because if you're in the game with me, everything's going to work out fine, because it takes two to tango. And you're saying, no, I'm not. I'm not financially in this game. I'm not supporting this game anymore. No matter what the game is, whether it's within a relationship, whatever relationship it is, whether you're lovers, work, whatever. But you're saying, no, I'm not, because it does. It's lost its lack of purpose. There's too much confusion, and there's a lot of delusion when it comes to the situation. It's almost like you're waiting for, I don't know, the first thing I have in my head is like you're waiting for a star to fall, but you're actually, this person's saying, well, the star's going to fall. We're going to watch a falling star, but we're actually going to find the meteorite. Like, we're going to literally find it, and we're going to be so rich, right? Because meteorites are worth so much money. And it's like a delusion, because you're saying no, because just because we see a meteor fall doesn't mean it's even on, it could be end up 7 states away. We'll never even, it's like hearing a tree fall in the forest. Do we hear a tree fall in the forest? And if you're outside of the forest, no. And so to you, it's becoming this like kind of a delusional thing. Could even be to the point to where your loved one is spending so much money trying to win the lottery that they're getting you in debt. Nope, it's totally, our numbers are 66, 55, 33, 12. We're buying 152 tickets. But don't worry, I've got 152 different numbers. Wait, what? Yeah, so the next numbers are 2, 5. You see what I'm saying? And you're like, what the? But it's almost like to the point where it's like, it's hurting, though. Well, if we keep buying $152 worth of tickets every month, and we're using 152 different setups, and we still lose, and it's been a year, we need a rest, or we need to do something different. You see, we need to do something different. It's getting us into some kind of, so there's some kind of financial debt. There's some kind of worry, some kind of financial loss that's going over here. And so you're losing the faith within that situation, but they're not going to give up they don't want to give up the goat. Whatever the bad investment is. And it also makes you feel, though, too, like something that's coming right now is making you lose some kind of missed opportunity. And if it's not, then it's making, you're like, oh my God, we're going to miss this opportunity now because we've been screwing around over here. Do you see what I'm saying? So it could even be that, maybe we've been screwing around with trying to win the lottery so much that now something actually happened and we can't afford to do such a thing. You see what I'm saying? Because now we spent money in all the wrong places. Take it how it resonates. It could be, it could be all kinds of different scenarios. But yeah, definitely there's some kind of betrayal and you feel like in the end, you know what, we've kind of tricked ourselves, but you want us to sit over here and do the same thing. You want us to sit over here and continue to act strategical and act like this is going to actually work when I don't see it. I see it as a heartache and a heartbreak. And now there's no communication. Now they know that you don't want to do this situation anymore, that you feel like this is a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of stuff going on, pulling away. Now they don't want to talk to you. Okay. Because now they're going to be just cold and awkward and mean. Yeah, and now this is where your death card's coming in because you're tired of the conflict and the defeat of the situation. You need something different. You need something more honorable. You need something that brings in way better patience and planning, something that's more powerful, something that actually is going to survive, something that's actually, doesn't feel like an illusion or, something that's, it's all a fantasy. That's not going to happen, right? Something you actually feel like I'm winning. Right, in the situation. But they want to stay stuck in the past. Sorry, they want to stay stuck in the past because they really do believe that this is where they're going to get their material, spiritual prosperities. They really do believe this is where they're going to get their 9 of Pentacles. They really do believe this is where they are getting their triumphs. And, they're just like, come on, keep going. And you're just like, dude, this is not working. It can even be a really bad job where, you work for like with that restaurant and they just think that they're just, everything's going to work, but they keep changing things around and nothing's bringing in customers, or no matter how many times they change that menu, that food sucks. You know what I mean? And it's like, no one's going to eat this and no one's coming in here because this food sucks, right? Or this place is so dirty. Do you see what I'm saying? It's something that's going on, guys. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and what doesn't, but just make sure that you're staying assertive. You know exactly what's going on. You're having all the insights that this is not going to work, that this is, no matter what, this has been nothing but a, this has just been nothing but a nightmare, and it's, in the end, is really what I'm seeing over here. Did it get you certain things here and there? Yeah, of course, it probably did here and there. Or has it just been just a nightmare? Everybody's story is going to be a little bit different because you could say no, because at one time we actually did make a good money. At one time this did work. That's why we kept to it until it just fell all apart. And then some of you could say, no, it's just always been a freaking joke. That I don't know why I allowed them to do that. See, I keep thinking that at one time it did work, and that's why you allowed your reins down. That's why you allowed, you know what I mean? That they were doing something at one time, and it was working. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's why, and now you have to go back and get your power back from the situation because you allowed too much power to go. But for some reason, I do feel like at one time this did work until it became imbalanced and it just didn't work anymore. It became more mind games and more control than it was worth in the end. And then it was all misuse of power or money or whatever it was. Interesting, my friends. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.